share screen so you can see my screen, right? So, all right, well, let's get started. You know the format, right? Is we discuss wins, right? I want to hear some wins, right? So tell me some wins. Who has some wins for me? Richard, you had a good one you were emailing me about.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Rob. I keep fading in and out. I'm back.
Sweet.
Yeah, I have a listing appointment. Well, I wouldn't necessarily call it listing, but appointment with the owner of the vacant property with a building on it adjacent to the vacant property that I already have listed out in West Jordan on 90th South. So we're going to sit down and discuss, possibly listing his land and building today. He's indicated he wants to sell. It's just a matter now of determining why he wants to sell and what he's asking for it.
Right. So don't underestimate trying to sell it to him either. In other words, if he buys it, then you can sell both. Because whoever buys both of them, the land is now more valuable. In other words, so if he buys it, then turns around and sells the whole thing, then don't underestimate that thought.
In other words, the gentleman, the seller that I'm talking today about buying the other lot and selling both?
Correct.
Okay.
So the neighbor to bring up purchasing it. So if you purchase it, through assemblage, you'll increase the value of, not just increase the value proportionally, but land goes up as you accumulate and the land gets bigger, then the value of the lot actually goes up per square foot price, right? So I use the example of Disney. So if you owned if you owned an acre of swamp in the Orlando area in the 1950s, the 1 acre, it's probably worth $10, right? What are you going to do with it? $1. It's an acre of swamp in the middle of nowhere. But if you own 10 million acres, now each acre is now, instead of worth $1 each, they're worth $5 each because of what you're capable of doing. The same thing with Sugar House Commons. You guys remember when all those stores down there, they were old, dilapidated stores, tattoo parlors, things like that. So one store, how much was that worth, per square foot? But if you bought the whole neighborhood, and you could tear it down and open up what they did, it raises the value per square foot value. So what that will do to this particular parcel, I don't know. You'd have to dig in and do some research. But the point is, when you assemble land, the per square foot price goes up.
Okay. Yes. So
who else? Anybody else have some wins? Unless you got something else to say, Richard?
No.
Okay. Does anybody else have any wins?
I got a buyer broker signed. This is Amy.
This is Amy. Sweet! Buyer broker signed. Awesome. Love hearing that stuff. Love hearing contracts signed. Contracts are the beginning of making money. Right? It's that simple, right? So in order to make money, somebody has to hire us, right? And so hire us to do a job. So if you sign a contract, that's, another way of looking at a buyer broker or a listing contract is it's an employment contract. Somebody just hired you. So great job, Amy. Tell us you don't have to tell us who they are, but where'd they come from?
SOI.
SOI. Sweet. Gotta love it. So my bubbles are moving around, so somebody just joined? Let's see. I don't think so, but anyway. Anybody else?
This is Charles. I got a buyer broker as well.
Sweet. Where'd they come from, Charles?
Another SOI.
SOI referral or SOI themselves? Or
themselves.
Yeah. Gotta love it.
Yep.
And you guys you're both Charles and Amy are on the mailers. So would you say that contributes to you getting his SOI calls? Either one of you?
Yeah, I think so.
For myself, I don't think on this one. they're not actually getting the mailer. They don't have a house, so.
So that doesn't mean they don't have to have a house. They just have to have an address.
Yeah, but they're not getting the mailer because they don't have a house.
Oh,
so I'm not mailing to them.
Do they live in a car?
Motorhome.
Oh, motorhome. Okay, that's a challenge. All right, that's the exception to the rule. So
It is.
was funny. So Danae just sent me a message. What do you call it? I said, hey, hurry up. I sent her a text, said, hurry up. We're waiting on you. And I told the example of Disney, and she laughed and texted and said, I'm actually at Disney. So I'm in Disneyland. So that's pretty funny. So Danae is enjoying Disney.
Enjoying some vacation time.
Yeah. So good for her, right? So anybody else have any wins? Robin, she didn't make it on the call yet. Robin, you at Disney World with Danae? JC, you on the call? So anyway, all right. We have a light call today. I mean, we have 11 people, but some of our regulars are missing. So wonder what's going on. Wonder where everybody's at. Anyway, well, the next section is struggles. Anybody having any struggles?
I'm not getting enough vacation time in. This is Charles.
Yeah. Well, the easiest way to get vacation time is to just tell your wife to go plan something, and then next thing you know, boom, you got a vacation scheduled. You didn't have anything to say about it. And it's a catch-22 when you're self-employed like us, because you don't want to go away when it's busy, and then when it's slow, you don't want to spend the money. So it's kind of like, eventually you just have to put it on the books and just deal with it. I've learned that years ago, because like I said, because you don't want to go away when it's busy, and you don't want to go away when it's slow. Well, there is no other season. There's busy or slow, right?
That's for sure.
So anyway, there's JC rolling in. Her mic's not on yet. Good morning, JC. Hopefully she can hear us. So, good morning, JC. We started struggles, but do you have any wins for us?
Doesn't want to talk to us either.
Yep. Yep, we can hear you now.
Wrong button. Sorry, my struggle is I actually lost 3 deals last week.
Ouch.
But, yeah, that sucks. And then as of last night, I was able to get one back under contract.
So that's a struggle and a win.
Yep.
Well, JC had a listing and had the buyer, and then the buyer listed her house, but the inspection failed on the purchase, so that just dominoed all 3 of them. But she was able to sell the condo. Hey, I can hear somebody sipping coffee. Holy cow. That was like the loudest sip of coffee I ever heard in my life. And I can actually hear somebody breathing into their microphone. So what they heard and muted themselves. So anyway, so anybody have any questions? Because I have a couple things we're going to start talking about. There's a couple things we're going to do. We're going to rearrange a lot of things, and one of them including my schedule. So one of the things we're going to do is we're going to do more sales training, right? We're going to do more sales training. Part of my schedule is I hired a coach, and so we're going to do 4 30-minute role play sessions a week that I'm going to lead. And then, so the way it'll work is, we'll just have people do, we can do it on the call. We do a group call like this. We'll record it so you can go back and listen to it. But if anybody's working on a particular role play or script that they're struggling with, then I'll ask for volunteers, and then or either that or we'll sign. We'll sign the we'll sign the caller and we'll sign the receive caller. So, and then, like, let's say today we would have two guys doing two guys calling and talking to a second person. So one guy call, A call B, C call D, and then the following day we can reverse, and then D call C and B call A, and then we can systematically get everybody in. But if you're struggling with a particular script and or objection, so I'd like to do, maybe the first 10, 15, 20 minutes of role play, and then maybe the last 10 minutes of objection handling, where, we'll talk about what objection handlers you have. And it's all based off of the script book. We're going to use the script book, and and I'll make sure everybody has a link. So, and whether that starts next week or not remains to be seen. I need to get together with Amy this week, and we have a kind of a busy week. We have office meeting tomorrow, coaching Wednesday. We got to do the mailers this week as well. So, we'll get together, and I have a whole schedule that I have to put together to where I have my, prospecting sessions where I've been prospecting, but not on a real schedule. The other thing is I'm going to do on a daily basis, we're going to do 3 30-minute open doors. So I'm going to schedule a time that says I'm available 3 times a day for 30 minutes. That way, if you have anything if you're working on something, you need a question, so you're always going to be, close to within 2, if you're working on something, rather than just call me when you're in the middle of something. Obviously, if you got an emergency, call me, but if you keep, if your emergencies are just standard calls, then I'm going to stop taking them. So, don't abuse the emergency call. So, but anyway, but the idea is that, to give me more control of my schedule so that I can help more people. So I think it'll work out just fine. So, I'll let everybody know, and I'll post, once I have it all down, it'll be posted online, my schedule. And so the open door time slots will be posted. My prospecting time slots will be posted. That type of stuff. So we're really going to have, because what's happened is with the company is right now my schedule is just an evolution of things that need to be done, and where I don't have complete control of my schedule. And 2 things need to happen. One is I need to have complete control of my schedule so that I can accomplish more. And 2, I am leading by example and saying you need to have a schedule so that you can accomplish more, right? So that's the whole thing. I'm doing it for the company, but I'm also doing it to show you and teach you how to do it as well. So there's more to it than that. I mean, I have a certain amount of recruiting, presentations I have to do. So once a month we got to do once a week a sales meeting. I'm going to talk to my coach more about that. But once, so the recording studio for the basement is underway. It's the paint. I had to finish the bathroom. The bathroom is being painted right now as we speak. And then hopefully Wednesday the carpet will go in the bedroom. And then once that's done, once the carpet is in, then I can start ordering the camera, the box, and the background and things like that, and have that installed. So hopefully tomorrow will be our last live office meeting. I shouldn't say last live office meeting, but typically we were doing the once a month office meeting where, at Larry Miller. So the plan now is to do it once a month online, and then also once a quarter do a live meeting where we all get together and have lunch. So I need to talk to my coach about the once a week sales training, because what it says, and I'll just share it with you on the screen if you want to see it. So what it looks like is 1 30 to 60-minute high-intensity sales meeting. So I need to make sure that's a weekly thing. And then 2 60 to 90-minute sales training. So I don't know if they're, meeting and training. I'm not really sure. I got to get clarity on that. 30 minutes role play session, 90-minute recruiting prospecting 3 times a week. That's me. 3 times a week I have to be doing. So basically I should be doing 3 recruit appointments a week. If I do not have a recruit appointment, then I need to spend half the time prospecting and the other half of the time role playing. And then the 90-minute, so that says 90-minute open door session. So consider splitting into 30-minute sessions a day. So, and again, I mean, like I said, if it's an emergency, by golly, call me. Don't wait. If you're out there writing an offer in the hood of a car, then you need to get a hold of me right away. So, anyway, so that's that. Any thoughts, questions, or concerns? We have some other things. Also, I have a 90-day production plan. Jumpstart your production. So, for those that are actually not in any kind of production, then this program is going to be offered, and this is what it looks like. The first thing you got to do is learn and internalize the pre-qualifying, the listing presentation, and the 10 basic objections. So you're going to pre-qualify the appointment, learn the listing presentation, and learn the objection. That's the first thing. You're going to practice and role play them 2 hours per day, 5 days a week. This is intense. If you want to get into production, right? Download. You got to have the whole script book. Start calling your center of influence and put them in an organized fashion. And then once you're done calling some certain amount of SOI, then you have to prospect and start calling 20 just listed, just solds per day. Call or go see them, right? Then preview property for 2 hours a day. Right? If you don't have any production, you have plenty of time on your hands. Right? Go preview houses for 2 hours a day. Look at 6 to 8 properties per day. Per day. Create a simple 90-day work schedule. And I'll help you with that. And then 2 hours of script practice, 3 hours of prospecting, 2 hours of preview. That's 7 hours. And then you got 1 hour of return phone calls. That's an 8-hour day. And at the end of the day, if you have no appointments, either knock on or visit expireds or FSBOs, right? So the idea is in the first 30 days, go on a minimum of 4 appointments and get 2 contracts signed the first 30 days. So if you want business, this is what it takes, right? The next 30 days is, very similar, obviously. Learn and internalize the FSBO expired script. So the first 30 days, because the most powerful asset you'll ever have is a listing presentation, right? Because if you are powerful and strong and confident on your listing presentation, then you are more likely to actually prospect, right? So the biggest excuse or the biggest reason people don't like to prospect, what if they get a yes? Now they have to go on an appointment. They don't know what to say. So we're going to solve that problem. So then look at the end of the second 30 days. Go on a minimum of 6 appointments. The goal should be 8 and at least 2 contracts signed with a goal of 3, right? So that means at the end of 60 days, you should have 4 contracts signed. And at the end of the last 30 days is, let's see. Now they've completed the 90 days. And so then commit to, doing an 18-month cycle of this program. So obviously, as you get better on the scripts, then you don't need to role play for 2 hours a day. But if you don't have anything going on, then, there's no excuse, none. Unless you just want to be part-time and do a couple deals a year. But if you actually want to make money, this is the program to do it. So if you're interested in it, I'm going to send out an email to people that explain this program, and then, and I want a written commitment so that, that because this isn't all in. It's only if you want to make money. If you don't want to make money, that's fine. I get it. But if you want to make money, well, then this is how to do it. Any thoughts, questions, concerns, hallucinations on this? JC was blocked out.
Hey, Rob, are you charging a fee for it? Or is that going to
Sorry?
be in the email? Are you charging for this, or is that going to be
No.
in the email that you're sending
Nope.
out?
Nope. There won't be any charge for this. And this group, whoever's in this group, will also have a weekly group call meeting for those just in this group. Now, the brokers can listen into this so that they can hear what their agents are learning, so that they can help along with them. But I'll be leading the charge, and I would encourage the brokers to be involved in the weekly group call of this group. Because as those brokers start recruiting agents into their office, they'll need to know this program at a higher level so that they can encourage and move their agents into it.
Okay.
And then the brokers, I'm going to be working with you guys separately. It's Barbara and Charles. They're both on the call, so obviously they're going to have. Right now, they're producing brokers just because Barbara has one agent and Charles has 0 at this point besides himself. So obviously they need to produce. So it's a challenge to produce and recruit at the same time. So they're going to have special needs where we'll have individual coaching calls with them and then group calls. So they'll each get an individual coaching call once a week. Plus, they'll get we can do a group call with all the brokers combined. So for the time being. So we're making a lot of changes. A lot of it has to do with schedule and programs, but the programs are all designed for getting you into higher levels of production. It's all about higher levels of production. Only if you want it. If you don't want it, so this is going to be super high accountability, super high. Like I said, we're and it's going to take me a couple of weeks to get it done, to get it tweaked. And, so I had a introductory call with my coach last Wednesday afternoon, but today is my actual first coaching call where we have our, it's not an introduction call where I had my assignments to do. And part of my assignments were, I'm working on it right now is introducing schedules and stuff like that. So don't forget we have office meeting tomorrow. Love to see as many of you there as possible. I know it can be difficult for some, but the reality is we are, it's every third Tuesday of the month, so it's there. You should learn to control your schedule. And if you have like a coaching call, if you have a training session, whatever, and if somebody says, hey, can you meet me at this time? Now, I know there's exception to every rule, but the rule is no. I cannot meet you. I have a previous engagement. So, and then when you learn to do that, you're going to understand there's a lot more freedom in your life. Do you ever feel like you're on a roller coaster and you have no control? And the reason is because you do not control your schedule. Period. When you control your schedule, you control your life. If you do not control your schedule, that means everybody else does. Now, when other people control your schedule, now is your schedule going to be based on what's best for you or what's best for them? It's always going to be about what's best for them. Now, that doesn't mean we throw our clients under the bus and not serve them. However, this is a for-profit endeavor, and we have to have control. But if you do your schedule, because if you looked at my schedule, that it's going to be changed, I'm actually going to have, I'm actually going to provide more services to you by having a tighter schedule. Does that make sense? You all can do the same thing. You can actually provide more services to more clients by actually having a better schedule. Now, I've known this always, but mine just evolved to one day, here I am. And so, where, now I have a coach, and it's all about my schedule for now. So, and we have goals and we have plans. And so that's the key. You have to have a goal, and it has to have a definite goal. It can't be just, I want to make a lot of money. In other words, I need to make X amount of dollars by X amount of date, and it has to be written down. You have to read it twice a day. You need to read it when you wake up in the morning. You need to read it before you go to bed so that your mind festers on it all night, and then you reinforce the festering by reading it in the morning. So have it on your nightstand, have it on the mirror in your bathroom or whatever. It doesn't have to be a long, 6-page thing. It just needs to be a simple goal. I earn X amount of dollars by December 31st, 2018 or 2019, I have X amount of dollars in the bank. I mean, that's the goal. I mean, that's a simple goal, and then you don't need to have all the granular details at that point. You just have to have a goal, and the how will show up, right? Once you commit to your goal, the how will show up. Do you get that? The how will show up. So, but you have to be committed to the goal. That's the key to the whole thing. You have to be committed to the goal. So, and we're going to talk about that as I start doing the emails, and I'll start having individual calls to qualify you into the programs, because what I don't want to do is set you up for failure. So I don't want to do that. So anyway, any thoughts, questions, or concerns?
This is Barbara. Rob, I just want to thank you so much. These principles that you're going to work with us through are tried and true. They've been proven, and you're willing to take all the time, effort, and energy and help us implement and be accountable to the things that really work in business. And I'm really grateful that you're willing to do that. Thank you.
No, my absolute pleasure. I'm just sorry I didn't start this, 2 years ago, So it's kind of like an apology to all of you and saying, I apologize for not doing this sooner. Now, the good news is, that's like the old saying, the 2 best days to plant a tree are 20 years ago and today. Well, I missed out on doing this tree 20 years ago, so today we're doing it. Right. I'm planting this tree today. So there'll be a lot of work to try and get it set up and implement it. So the beginning, it's always messy in the beginning. So, and we'll model our way forward. I love the expression, people say, well, how are you doing? I say, I just keep failing my way forward. So never think of failure as a failure, right? If you failed on something, it has to be a lesson. Robert Kiyosaki always says, on every transaction, you either learn or make money. So hopefully you get the lesson quickly and start making money, right? But the point of that statement is, every time you do something, you learn. Even if the outcome was not the way you wanted, you're still learning. And that's the critical element. We can't beat ourselves up. Every day we start at zero. Every day you start at zero, right? And then, so, and if you had a bad day today, it doesn't matter. Tomorrow you start at zero. If you had a great day today, great. You celebrate at the end of the day, but you wake up in the morning with zero, right? You wake up in the morning with zero. It's like if you have a goal, let's say you have a goal to sell 30 houses, and it's January 1st, you're like overwhelmed. Well, that's all right. You start out every day and say, okay, I need to talk to X amount of people today. And the key to a goal is to know what you're willing to do to reach that goal. If you tell me you have a goal for X, and then I tell you, okay, in order to reach X, you need to be willing to do this on a daily basis. And if you're not willing to do that, then you're not really motivated to achieve your goal. You may like to achieve it, but in order to achieve a goal, you have to do what it takes to reach that goal. I'm committed to you guys to make money. So Bill Gates had a quote, or at least I think it's Bill Gates. I'm not sure whose the quote it was. But in order to become a billionaire, you have to create millionaires, right? So the point of that statement is, in other words, you have to have an organization, and all ships rise with the tide. So I have to make you guys more money in order for me to make more money. So I'm committed to helping you guys make more money, period. But the key, though, is you have to be committed. So, in other words, if you're not committed, then it doesn't work, right? And then we'll just have to, take you out of programs if you're not committed. So some of these other programs I'm implementing, these are going to be super high accountabilities that are going to have very, very low tolerance for, misses and and lack of commitment. So anyway, any other thoughts, questions, struggles, or statements? No? If not, I'm going to go ahead and end the call. I'm going to stop recording, and then I will be getting a hold of you individually. Awesome, guys. You guys have an amazing day, and remember, the book Think and Grow Rich said it's not about hard work, it's about thinking. Now, so doesn't mean you don't work hard, but if you don't apply the thinking as well, then your hard work is just going to get you you're just going to make enough money to pay your bills and get back to work. But if you want to make real money and enjoy the lifestyle that you kind of deserve, if you think you don't deserve it, that's another conversation, right? So Marianne Williamson she was quoted the writing by Marianne Williamson. I'm not going to read the whole thing. It's called Our Deepest Fear, right? It's popping up on the screen now. So it talks about our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate, we are powerful beyond our measure. There's this one line, and so I love this. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. That's spelled wrong, right? You are playing small. Your playing small does not serve the world, right? So that actually wasn't spelled wrong. It just the sentence wasn't complete. So does not serve the world, right? So think about that. And I don't know where you are with your faith and that kind of stuff, but think about that. If you are created by the creator of the universe. So the creator of the universe doesn't make us to live in misery, to live in poverty. The creator of the universe, we are heirs to the throne of the creator of the universe. So we need to behave as if we are heirs to the throne. You have to think that way first. If you think you don't deserve to have a quality lifestyle where you can have a vacation home in another state, where you don't have to worry about your money, where's your next meal coming from? Are you going to be able to make your mortgage payment? If you want to send your children to private school, none of that. That you deserve all that. And if you don't think you do, that we need to have a different conversation to teach your mind that you do deserve this. Period. Right? Your playing small does not serve the world. So, anyway, with that said, so we're going to go ahead and end the call. I know I said I was ending the call, and then, of course, I went on a tangent, but that's pretty par for me. So, anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and end the recording. I'm going to end the call, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me.